Hey guys, it's Local Rail Fan here. I have a story I want to tell you about my adventure with Norfolk Southern. You guys have probably all heard about the railways increasing their security around their yards and main lines. They do this for obvious reasons, but we've also heard of people being called in or even arrested by the railway police. My adventure with the Norfolk Southern police takes place in Bluefield, West Virginia. Now we pulled into Bluefield, it was around 10:30 at night, so it was dark. Obviously the first thing I wanted to do was get down to the rail yards. When we pulled into the rail yard area, I seen a train was moving out. My first thought was, let's get to the power. So we drove down the road and caught up with the motive power. To my surprise, it was two -9s, an SD60, and an Operation Lifesaver -9. Now I thought this power was pretty good. So I was thinking to myself, well, I really would love to get a picture of that Operation Lifesaver, so I'm going to wait. Now to get an idea of where I was waiting, there was a road, and I was maybe 5 feet away from it, and I was protected by one of those sidebars on the road, the guardrails, and there's an embankment going down to the rail line. Now I was on top of a small hill, maybe 80 feet away from it, so I thought that I would be uninterrupted by the railway police, seeing as what I thought was just public land. Within maybe my first 20 minutes of waiting, the locomotive engineer came onto the side of the engine and started shouting out like this. I couldn't hear him, so I didn't have a clue of what he was saying to me. I got a chill down my back thinking, oh no, he's probably calling me in, and sure as hell he did. I saw the headlights come around the curve, and sure enough it was the Norfolk Southern Railway Police. He rolled down the window and gave me the old, come over here, and he had a bit of serious tone in his voice when he called me over, so I was a bit nervous. Obviously, being a Canadian down in the States at 10:30 at night, being called in for trespassing, not the best thing to happen to you. But when he called me in, I started talking to him, and he was a real nice guy. All he wanted to know was where I was from, what I was doing, and if I was alright. And obviously I answered all his questions to the best of my ability, and he started talking to me, and he was a rail fan himself. So everything was working out pretty good. But then he wanted to talk to my father, and he was wondering where he was. So I gave my dad a shout on the cell phone and figured out that he was just on the other rail fan bridge getting pictures of the same train. So 5 minutes later he shows up and he starts talking to the railway police. And luckily he was a nice guy, so my dad got along with him pretty well. And my dad came over once he left, and I asked my dad if everything was alright. And he said, yeah, everything's alright, but he wants us to see some of the places where we can go rail fanning. He said, follow me. So we went ahead with this railway policeman, who was actually a special agent for Norfolk Southern. So we got to his office, which is at the Pocahontas District Building in Bluefield, West Virginia. When we got there, we started chatting about trains, rail fanning, and he was actually a really, really cool rail fan. And he gave me a lot of information of where I should film and get some nice pictures, and everything was working pretty good. My dad had noticed the Norfolk Southern hat that he was wearing was pretty nice, so my dad was wondering if he could buy one, possibly from Norfolk Southern. And he said that Norfolk Southern doesn't sell them, but he had a few of his own hats that he would give us. Now, this is what he gave us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Norfolk Southern Division Pocahontas District hats. You guys probably think that's really good, and I was actually really surprised when he was handing me over all these hats. But it only gets better. Norfolk Southern 2010 calendar. Not only one, but another one. And that's still not it. He also gave us one Norfolk Southern t-shirt. Wait, not one. 2 Norfolk Southern Pocahontas Division t-shirts. So, this was quite a surprise, from being called in by the railway police to getting a bunch of Norfolk Southern attire. So I was pretty happy that night, and I got a new respect for the railway police. So I guess all you have to do is just talk politely with them, and you just never know what they might do for you. Anyways, guys, I'm not the best storyteller. I tried to interpret it as best as I could. But, Just stay safe, guys. Keep on rail fanning and do what we do best. Highball L1.